First, though, let's get you caught up on what has been a very big traffic mess. A huge sulfuric acid spill is being cleaned up on I-24. For the most part, it's been cleaned up. This is near the James Robertson Parkway area. And from Google Earth, you can see exactly the area that we're talking about there. The good news, again, the interstate I-24 is back open just in time for the rush hour. Much different scene last night, though. This was taken from Air 4 just a few minutes after that spill happened. And you can see that crews were on the scene, and they were there for about 12 hours before they were finally able to reopen the road. So let's get you out to Channel 4's Ann McCloy. She begins our team coverage just half an hour from the cleanup site. And we understand traffic's moving, but there still are a couple of closures, right?
Yes, there is a big closure right here at James Robertson Parkway. You can see the off-ramp here is covered in that white substance, and that is crushed lime that was used in the cleanup effort. Crews are still working here to get the sulfuric acid cleaned up on the off-ramp, but you can see up there on I-24 eastbound, it is back open after being closed all night long since yesterday evening. And there are some concerns about this dust this morning. Actually, the white powder you are seeing, because it could kick some dust up into the air for drivers during the commute. Let's get you caught up on what happened with the sulfuric acid leak. Officials believe a tanker caused a spill that closed I-24 eastbound yesterday. The leak, a 50-mile leak from a zinc plant in Clarksville all the way to downtown Nashville. The spill was reported just after 6 last night at the exit 48 where we are on James Robertson Parkway. Crews had been redirecting traffic until about an hour ago, so for about 12 hours. But now, as we said, the interstate's back open. The truck that leaked the acid is listed as belonging to Palm Freight Systems Incorporated of Laverne, and yesterday the driver of the truck was treated for exposure. Officials say he tried cleaning up the acid and he had some burns to his hands as well. And the news story with this cleanup effort this morning is really that crushed lime we're seeing all over the interstate. As I said, Metro Police are saying this could cause some visibility concerns as drivers drive right through it. It could kick up some dust. And we've been breathing this stuff in all morning, so we'll be checking in to see if there's any concerns about the crushed lime you're seeing getting into the air and into people's lungs. I'm reporting live this morning downtown. Ann McCloy, Channel 4 News today.
All right, Ann, thank you for the latest. And as you can see, it takes several hours to clean up an acid spill. Crews had to take their time, though, so it doesn't hurt people or our environment. We continue our team coverage with Channel 4's Julia Bruck, who did some checking and found out what cleanup crews were up against overnight. And she's joining us now with a demonstration. Good morning, Julia.
Well, that's right. Good morning. You know, crews are faced with a number of concerns out here, but the big one is to make sure that the sulfuric acid does not mix with water or another chemical. And that makes this cleanup process much slower. There's a couple reasons for that. One of those reasons is that the acid does not run off and seep into the soil and other waterways. And secondly, because of the way that the acid reacts to water and other chemicals. Science teacher Steve Spangler of Denver shows us what could happen with just a drop of acid and another chemical.
First responders are always worried about what another chemical might touch. So this, for example, is sugar, so regular table sugar, and a strong oxidizer. They're kind of like the heads of a match, you know, the white part of the match, and so I have that there. It's called potassium chloride. Here's the power of just a single drop of sulfuric acid. So I'm just going to use one little drop of sulfuric acid. Watch this. As it gets close here, here's the one drop of sulfuric acid. You start to see it take off. That's just amazing.
One drop.
One drop, and so that would trigger another reaction. And so that's not because of the sulfuric acid, other than that sulfuric acid was just the catalyst for that.
So there you have it, a perspective of what crews are up against. An important note for drivers: if you possibly drove through this acid yesterday, experts say the tires, you could see a changing of colors on your tires. Well, they say do not take your car to a car wash to get that clean off. Instead, you may have to get new tires altogether. We are live in downtown Nashville. Julia Bruck, Channel 4 News Today.